What makes January 6th a day to remember? It marked a day of insurrection in the United States, the deadliest attack on the Capitol since the War of 1812. This was a day when democracy was put to the ultimate test, challenged by the very people who were meant to uphold it. It was fueled by the then president's unfounded claims of a stolen election, which ignited a spark in his followers. On this day, the peaceful transfer of power, a cornerstone of American democracy, was threatened by an angry mob. The then president, with just 2 weeks left in office, invoked his right-wing supporters to halt the proceedings, with violence if necessary. This wasn't a spontaneous uprising, but a calculated move, a desperate attempt to cling onto power. Yet even as chaos ensued on Capitol Hill, the rule of law held firm. Nearly 90 judges across the country dismissed the former president's fraudulent claims of election theft. They stood as a testament to the strength of the American judicial system, refusing to be swayed by perjury, slander, and outright lies. As we delve into the details of that day, remember this: January 6th was not just another day, but a direct assault on democracy. It served as a stark reminder of the fragility of our freedom and the lengths some will go to undermine it. On that fateful day, the Capitol was stormed by a mob, an act incited by the then president. It was January 6, 2021, a day that would go down in history as a violent insurrection against the democratic process. The mob, fueled by false claims of a stolen election, broke into the heart of our nation's legislative body, causing chaos and destruction. The day started with supporters of the then president gathering in Washington, D.C. As the hours passed, the crowd turned into a mob and stormed the Capitol building. The violent clashes between the insurrectionists and the Capitol Police was a sight that many thought they would never witness on American soil. Inside the Capitol, lawmakers were in the process of certifying the results of a free and fair election. As the mob breached the Capitol, these lawmakers, along with their staff, were evacuated, but not all were able to leave in time. Representative Pramila Jayapal, among others, was trapped in the House gallery. She vividly recalls the pounding on the doors, the shouting and screaming of those trying to overrun the institution, and those putting their lives on the line to defend it. The terror they felt is an experience that no one should have to endure, especially in a country that prides itself on its democratic values. The tragic loss of lives, including brave officers who fought to protect the lawmakers in the Capitol, added to the horror of the day. But it wasn't just physical harm that was inflicted. The psychological impact on those present, and indeed on the entire nation, was immeasurable. The sight of the Capitol under siege shook the nation to its core, raising questions about the strength and resilience of our democracy. And as the day ended, the Capitol was left in a state of disarray. The echoes of the mob's fury lingered in the air, a chilling reminder of the violent attempt to overturn the results of a democratic election. The events of that day were a stark reminder of how fragile democracy can be. The fallout of January 6th was far from over on that day. It marked the beginning of a significant turning point in our nation's history. The House of Representatives, stunned yet resolute, moved swiftly to impeach the president for incitement of insurrection. The charges were serious, the stakes monumental. Despite the president's acquittal in the Senate, the impact was undeniable, setting a precedent for the gravity of political responsibility. Meanwhile, the January 6th committee embarked on a crucial mission to uncover the disturbing details of that fateful day. Their investigation was meticulous, their findings chilling. They obtained over 1 million records from the Secret Service, revealing warnings and real-time reports of violence before the insurrection. They subpoenaed key figures of the former administration, unearthing their roles in the events leading up to January 6th. Their hard work painted a stark picture of a democracy under threat, a reality that was closer to home than many of us would like to admit. Parallel to this, the Department of Justice took significant strides in holding those who stormed the Capitol accountable. Over 1,000 people were charged in connection with the riot, and the former president himself was indicted on criminal charges related to his efforts to remain in the White House after losing the 2020 election. This was a necessary step in ensuring such an act never happens again. However, the threats to our democracy didn't end with these proceedings. A disturbing number of people continue to believe the false claims about the election, fanning the flames of political violence. These persistent misconceptions present an ongoing challenge to the stability of our democracy. But amidst this turmoil, there is hope. Democracy is resilient, and it is our collective responsibility to protect it. This is the essence of public service, the core of our national identity, and the foundation of our future. 3 years on, we remember January 6th not just as a day of insurrection, but as a call to action to protect our democracy. It is a reminder of the fragility of our democratic institutions, but also of their enduring strength when we stand together to defend them. It is a call for vigilance, for unity, and for the unwavering commitment to the principles that define us as a nation.